When he got there, he immediately threw it on the ground. It's a bear, not a horse, so try harder. Even lying in front of divine beings does not tremble. He said that he would rather be burned alive than submit. Anyway, he's already ranked 2. How can you obediently surrender when you once dominated a region? This polar bear has too much strength and too much consciousness and seems to have too much pride. Taming is not an easy thing. Wu Ziyu used his roots to lift the polar bear. It's very gentle and emotional, but I don't understand why the bear opens its mouth and screams. Along with the cry, blue-white ice energy poured out violently, suddenly causing his roots to become infected with ice. Wu Ziyu also didn't know what just happened. He also did not intend to drain the bear's spirit power, but it reacted so violently. It seems his body still has many surprises. After absorbing the ice system, the root returns to its old color. Wu Ziyu couldn't help but marvel. His roots are not only good at smashing lingxi or killing animals to earn points, but also moderately absorb elements. Moreover, there is no need to intentionally suck it in. A bit shocking, but still good. Get used to it gradually, then inhale other types of lingxi quickly. Temporarily continue to absorb this bear's element. Wu Ziyu smoked while asking the nine-tailed fox how the bear's lingxi ice mine was. Poor polar bear has lost both his strength and his home, lost all property. The nine-tailed fox, judging by initial testing, is a medium-sized lingxi mine. The 2 children who came with me have already gone inside to practice. The 2 of them, one ice type and one omnivorous lingxi, can beat any of them, so they've already caught up with the boss. I can't chew the ice system, so I have to go home and report. Maybe now the kids have bulging bellies in there, especially that panda knows its shape when it sees it. Speaking of which, his multi-species company has very few ice creatures. If you have a delicious lingxi beak, you won't be able to use it thoroughly. Looks like this time we'll have to tame more ice-attributed beasts. Let's start with this bear. Would you agree to join my company? In your dream, the robbers also demanded to marry the homeowner. If you don't drink the wine, you want to drink the wine as punishment. Pity for such a strong beast. He raised the root. The sharp root was also soaked in spirit power. A purple blow brought it down. The bear died instantly. Notification system. Killing a polar bear receives 24,000 evolution points. At the same time, he announced the success of usurping the bear's ability. Not to mention he forgot about the matter of usurping the root's power. Open it and see if there are any special skills. The system picks up a skill called Ice and Snowstorm, in short, Snowstorm. This skill gives you the ability to manipulate the weather. When it's sunny, it can cause a roaring snowstorm. Weather manipulation is not an ordinary skill, including the fog skill he possesses. So there are 2 types of weather manipulation. Later, you will have to pick up more weather manipulation skills. At that time, he was the embodiment of natural disasters. Not only does it benefit the peace side, it also helps a lot in future battles. He has to speed up. Depart for northern landscape. Enough looking at the trees. Now I will take everyone to a remote desert area. This place is the Shichain border, not for fun, but because there is war here. On the highway running into the desert, there was a group of vehicles moving unruly in the middle of the road. The vehicle carries an unusually muscular, the Unreal Sublime. He is not the only Unreal Sublime, but he is the strongest in the Federation's negotiating team. Is this the person He Cholin wants King Qiang to punch? The place the whole group was heading was deep in the desert. There is a negotiating team of 10 countries waiting there, represented by a gray-haired old woman, a girl people call a saint. They all reached rank 1 strength. The saint asked the old woman, "Is the Federation really as terrorist as rumored?" Question like that, but the old lady prefers to answer differently. The present is the age of the sublime. We are still 1 step slow at the end. Are you saying they are weaker than the Federation, or are you saying they can't keep up with the times? It wandered around for a while and saw the federal negotiating delegation arrive. The first step was a tall man with a scared face who looked like an ant-turned star. As soon as I got out of the car, I shouted as if greeting a longtime friend. Extremely lackadaisical attitude. Who would have known that this guy would be the younger brother of a super serious person? Full name Li Yuanho has achieved rank 1 and is General Li's younger brother. Even though they were the same person, the 2 women standing in front of Li Yuanho still had some fear. Li Yuanho's spirit power awakens King Qiang sleeping underground. Looks like it's already crowded. Do the task now. Wait until it's time to work. King Qiang was full of enthusiasm. 2 bright eyes. Spirit power radiates throughout the body. Behind him were hundreds of other bright eyes. But it's the red light of a wild beast. They were all ready to work. On the ground, the convoy entered and the group of people went out to exchange greetings to complete the process. Rituals are mostly for young people. There's an old lady who hasn't said a few words since then. His face was full of tension. Look at Li Yuanho and see a monster. Indeed, the person General Li chose. The pressure radiating from his body was truly terrifying. Li Yuanho brought the unreal sublime team closer. If you're close enough, shout once more to say hello before looking up. That old woman is definitely not a saint. So the saint is the person next to her. The group behind them were all 9th-level supernatural beings. Li Yuanho curled his mouth and saw that the envoys from 10 countries were just normal and not as difficult to control as initially imagined. This time I brought along quite a few experts. Old lady, you're not that bad either. Anyone who didn't know thought they were about to fight. The green-headed and red-headed kids in the back are all star system soldiers. Bring it along to help handle work or handle some unexpected things. Talking like this, it's clear that both sides quite hate each other. But don't worry, everyone. King Qiang is about to help everyone break this atmosphere. The old woman responded to Li Yuanho's suggestive words. The joke was so funny. Next time you don't have to say it anymore. This place is not dangerous at all. Everything is ready. Don't stand outside anymore. Go in and use it to discuss the main work. Li Yuanho still kept the smile on his face and walked inside like he was the owner of this house. After walking a few steps, I stepped on a crack in the ground. Just waiting for that. King Qiang immediately made his move. Using his earth element ability, he erected several prepared stakes and stabbed them into the ground. Before Li Yuanho could clarify the situation, the crack suddenly opened wide. The bottom was originally empty, so it immediately collapsed like an earthquake. A whole section of road fell into a deep hole. Carry the people on it and bury it. Those with real strength will quickly jump up. Li Yuanho opened his mouth to curse. You old ladies dare! Why did you say it was safe just now, but as soon as you stepped on it? Several people lost their lives. Aren't you kidding me? The old woman immediately denied that she knew anything. Who would set a trap to bury themselves? So where does the hole come from? The answer will come very quickly. Beneath the deep hole were hundreds of eyes staring up and waiting, terrifying him. Li Yuanho shouted a warning. Be careful, brothers. But they were too close to the bottom. As soon as he finished speaking, a series of mice jumped up. Each one is aggressive and big. The saint looked at the town and mentally watched the rats rush in and bite people. Hundreds of them bring hundreds of mouths to bite and tear any human object. The scene was chaotic, bloody, and terrifying. But that's just the beginning. The main dish is still below the black hole. Hundreds of other rats, along with King Qiang, have yet to go to war. The fun is about to begin. The rat epidemic is an attack by rats in large numbers and ferociously. And the locust epidemic is one of the 82nd and 83rd disasters that people fear the most. Unlike grasshoppers, which can only gnaw and destroy crops, rats are omnivores. They bite grain, houses, and even people. Therefore, compared to the locust epidemic, the rat epidemic is much scarier. That fear comes from quantity. 3 parts come from the feeling of terror when being gnawed. 7 part is that people are afraid of having their flesh chewed out by rats while they are still alive. The outcome is not much different from being gnawed by zombies. That fear motivates people to fight or die. Of course, everyone wants to live, even people who are about to die, like an old woman. She jumped back to create distance with the rats just within attack range, then raised her hands to perform the Feng Huan technique. From her hand came a stream of blue spirit power, like cool breezes, but not cool at all. On the contrary, they are like invisible blades cutting down rats. If an old woman can do that much, a young man like Li Yuanho can't do it. He hit the ground hard while tearing the mice apart. The saint saw people killing and also killed them. She danced for the mice until the end of the song, Alibaba, and all the mice flew out. The human side has regained composure after the previous landslide and rat swarm. They started to counterattack. With every kick, the rat people fight chaotically. But rats outnumber people. Besides the 3 people who have reached rank 1, the resistance of the remaining Unreal Sublime players is extremely weak. It's already so difficult for the little mice. King Qiang is still standing and watching. I want to fight here. He's already tired of being an audience. When he identified 3 strong people among them, he immediately decided to take action. Before fighting, he smiled and said that the strength of the other 3 people could not be underestimated, but that only made King Qiang laugh. Didn't make him break a single drop of sweat, especially the weakest saint among the 3 rank 1 people. But it's not as bad as the rest of the supernatural people. Even the little mice couldn't fight and were bitten to pieces. Very quickly the casualties increased countlessly. Everything is still under King Qiang's control. Initially, creating a small mouse landslide was to protect the enemy team's forces and test their strength. All goals have been completed. Now only the strong remain. It was King Qiang and the Mouse King's turn to go to battle. The old woman happily slaughtered the little mice. There's no need to worry about dealing with them if there are only a few of them. The important thing now is to get out of this giant hole. The most obvious exit is the crater above. It's difficult for it to be several hundred meters high and able to fly, because no one in the flock had wings. The old woman suggested to Li Yuanho to knock out all the little mice and find another way. Too smart and rewarded with a lump of dirt. Just blink an eye and the goods will be delivered to your door even at the speed of light. The naked eye can only see streaks of light. When the goods arrived, they saw that it wasn't just a lump of dirt but an entire arm from the giant made of dirt that passed through the old woman's body, pushed her 20 meters away. Dirt filled her blood and lungs, causing her to cough and cough. I was busy coughing so I didn't have time to say anything more. The person who beat the old woman was none other than King Qiang. He is the mind of an earth giant that uses earth power to create forms that surround him. The old woman was attacked. The first person to be shocked was the saintess, then Li Yuanho. No need to be surprised. Everyone would be beaten, especially Li Yuanho. We asked permission to bite you so you won't feel surprised anymore. But biting too hard made him bleed profusely. He held his bloody neck, then dodged 200 meters away, coughing like he had late-stage tuberculosis, acting like an old woman. The rat that bit Li Yuanho was a rank 1 rat. His 3 eyes were black, everything was black, but his aura was dark red and looked unfriendly. Probably because humans looked down on them, it called the whole herd to slap the humans. Now the saint was alone, feeling shocked that the other 2 had been defeated. She hasn't been beaten by rats yet. You can rest assured that everyone has a part. Not only the saints, but all the supernatural people here will receive gifts, too, including bloody bites. King Qiang and the rats will not spare anyone. The scene of rats biting people was so horrifying that I asked permission to point the camera up to the sky to make it less scary. You just need to know that they scream very pitifully. I called for a while but didn't hear anyone else calling, so I let the camera continue filming. As soon as I lowered the camera, I saw the old woman and Li Yuanho lying still on the ground. The old woman face down. Li Yuanho raised his face. Li Yuanho's face was covered with gnaw marks deep to the bone. He died unable to close his eyes or mouth. King Qiang's fiery spirit power stepped on the ground. The ground creaked, but the saint sitting in front of him didn't make a sound. King Qiang construction team leader successfully completed the assigned task. After being on the road for 3 days in a row, I returned to the company. The owner of a multi-species company has just moved its headquarters to the Roman mountains to facilitate looting. On the snow as cold as ice, King Qiang placed the human from the desert straight up there. The saint was favored to be carried back from the battlefield. She is one of the 3 holy women of Brahmanism. At the same time, he is the messenger of the alliance of 10 countries. Wu Ziyu looked at the person lying on the snow and called "Oh," then used his roots to pick him up. Probably too far away to see clearly. This girl is one of the 3 holy maidens. According to Tanne's news, Brahmanism is a sect with many extreme mysteries. Even the Federation has some taboos. Even though he was unconscious on the snow, he still radiated terrible spirit power. This girl's talent is very strong. Willow trees like it very much. Taking off the mask is even better. The essence of convergence is more beautiful than others. The body is plump and full of vitality. Wu Ziyu immediately affirmed that she would be mine. Unfortunately, Wu Ziyu could not accept the harem, so the saint had to become his servant. He used one root to wrap her around the other one pointing at her face. The root pointing to the face contains purple spirit power. That root reaches enough distance to release a ray of energy into the saint's head. After the spirit power beam entered her head, she immediately felt pain and winced. Then create a space around the egg covered with green light. Opens up the illusion of floating in space, where the saint is the center. This is exactly her mental area. A saintess with a green spirit power mark behind her is her soul and inner self. From here, Wu Ziyu can deeply understand the saint and control and even crush this mark, taking everything away. Breaking the inner world is equivalent to breaking the soul. That person will become useless and stupid. But he has no intention of destroying the saint right now, that Wu Ziyu is trying to cultivate her. After successfully executing the blood contract, spirit power shot out from the saint's feet as if exploding with terrible power. King Qiang stood close and was extremely surprised. This girl looks tiny but is so strong. The saint is a person with very good qualities. Currently ranked number 1. She has the gift of observation and can see other people's weaknesses. In addition to natural talent, there are 4 skills. Fighting like a snake. Walk like a snake. The hand is the snake's mouth, and the ability to heal damage. At the same time, there is also a new skill added thanks to the effect of blood contract. Allowing for a short period of time to borrow the owner's power can conversely provide evolution points for the owner. Naturally, I was startled to see it providing evolution points for the owner. Very good. Previously, it was only Winged Wolf who brought animals back for him to kill. His hands have been stained with blood for a long time. Now the slave can take evolution points for him. For him there is only benefit and no harm. She was now under Wu Ziyu's control. Everyone who joins the company has to work. The saint's first mission was to hunt a strange beast and bring it back. This blood contract skill is not like the life essence that only accepts orders without question. Therefore, the saint's reaction was also different from Lyra before. She was no longer conscious and could only obediently obey. The saint accepted the mission and immediately went into the forest and broke the mouth of a mutated bear. At home, the system immediately announced that Ting Ting, your servant, had killed a level 6 mutated bear. Evolution point plus 12. What is the difference between 12 and 6 levels and 60 points? Turns out, killing monsters only earns 1/5 points for the boss. Something is better than nothing. Temporarily acceptable. But leaving the saint in the forest swinging trees with monkeys is too wasteful. It's better to stay here and slap every animal in the face than to return to humans to work for him. If there was an alliance of 10 countries to restrain the Federation, it would not be possible to jump in and attack him. However, that future is still a bit far away. Only a rank 1 saintess cannot stand up to control the entire church. More than that, if she was killed by the mental connection of Unreal Sublime like Xiaoking, it would implicate him. Thinking about it, in short, this saint needs to become stronger. For long-term purposes, Wu Ziyu decided to let the saint use upgrade items. The 9-petal fire flower is fragrant but has no root to swallow. The opportunity only comes once. If you fail to absorb it, you will die. The risk was very high, but the saint had lost her mind, so she did not hesitate to take it. Then instead of chewing grass like Bull Demon King Qiang, the saint draws spirit power like a demon draws positive energy. After using the item, her whole body releases a terrible orange-red spirit power that burns like fire. There is no overreaction or rejection of spirit power. That is, it was successful. Currently, the saint's skill set has been changed. Specifically, adding the talent in a special skill. The additional fire element talent gives the ability to control and fuse with fire yan. New skill consumes stamina and turns body into elements. From there, it is immune to physical damage. Destroy everything. Wu Ziyu rated the saint very highly, with her inherent qualities plus the elemental flower he provided. Very soon you will reach rank 2. Northern Yu Canyon has a Lin Dam. You go there to rest first. Wait a few more days, and I will baptize you with the essence of life. Whatever Wu Ziyu said, she listened, but he was afraid that she wouldn't know the way. So Wu Ziyu asked King Qiang to escort him. The two left together and quickly disappeared amid the white snow. So there is no combination between the Federation and the 10-country alliance. The next few days passed peacefully until one day the ground shook loudly, shaking even the giant willow tree. The cause of that tremor was the Bull Demon King roaring like crazy. It's not that he's crazy, it's that he's starting to rank up. This day has finally come. Every day, the employees get promoted. The boss comes to calm them down that day. progress to rank quietly and don't have to be shocked to accept it. Like the Bull Demon King, this time it spit up all the soil and rocks around it. Spirit power surged out violently as if there was an excess of spirit power. Once completed, it is blacker than coal. The veiny limbs look very muscular and extremely strange. Even Wuziu had to open his mouth in surprise at this skin. His whole body is covered with muscles, shaggy hair and beard, horns as big as cartwheels, and especially he walks on 2 legs. Entering rank 2, Bull Demon King wears a new look, new skills too. Previously, he was an earth player who manipulated gravity. Now it controls the ice system. New skill Geoglacial Ice Paint gives the ability to freeze the great land and tear apart mountains. The new skill is of course very badass. But the most powerful thing is that gravity control has a Pro Max version. Use consumable spirit power to improve evolution direction. Thanks to that, achieving identity helps promote better combat power, inheriting humanity's terrifying strength and speed. The Bull Demon King opened his mouth to call out to his master. Its owner, Wuziu, is currently crazy because he was too excited and howled non-stop. He jumped around the Bull Demon King. The mouth kept asking without stopping, "Why did you do that? Tell me quickly." More and more like a monster. "I also want to be like you." In the past, he was named Bull Demon King, but he didn't expect that he would now become the real Bull Demon King. "Unfortunately, I can't answer your boss's question. I don't know how I became like this." He suddenly grew a few toes and then stood on both feet, starting him. When they evolve, we just hope that our fighting bodies will be more convenient. It seems that the so-called demon form is like this. Evolution is similar to humans, but more like animals, like a monster in legends. Perhaps this is another form of mutated organism after evolution. Not only is Bull Demon King, but other creatures can also gain identity. In the future, there will be more monsters like this. Now there are buffaloes standing on 2 legs, and there will also be cats standing on 2 legs. Fish walking on the street will eventually own its own culture, can create a patriot, for example. That future is not impossible. That's the later story now focusing on the Bull Demon King. After growing fingers, the baby needs some air. Specifically, he wanted an axe, a chain axe that Wuziu was more than capable of giving. Even made a super Vipro axe. Currently, he has reached rank 3. Branches and roots, with a little grinding, can become excellent treasures of humanity. The axe he made for Bull Demon King himself was 100% from his own roots. The axe body does not say that the axe blade is created thanks to the ability to refine. Crystalline is not afraid of an atomic bomb, let alone a few rocks. It is sharp and hard like diamond. If you cut it, it will break and it will be called Warlord Lava. Give the axe to the Bull Demon King and also give it a new mission. The north is now occupied. That's where the Lingxi Wuziu gang had to go on another trip. He had already used the fire Lingxi in the Panda Cave and left a few parts for other fire-type beasts. Now he goes to absorb the ice and leaves northern Yu in the possession of the Bull Demon King. Bull Demon King has nothing to refuse. "Boss, just go at your leisure. I can maintain the house." 3 days after the Bull Demon King's evolution, the saint also completed her mission excellently. Returned to Brahmanism. With her mouth, the death of the old woman and her followers were blamed on the federal government, specifically blaming an internal power of the Federation. This force and that force are finally a federation, so their cooperation against strange beasts has collapsed. At home, Wuziu took the route and followed the 9-tailed fox's instructions and galloped to the north. The ravine is already guarded by the Bull Demon King and the ancient empire, so go with peace of mind. In the north, many strange beasts have conquered many times, but the wolves still do not know fear. Standing in the middle of the road, it was too easy for Wuziu to attack. Pick up a few bags filled with wolves. Wherever you go, tree roots will poke up. Looks horrifyingly creepy. He drove quickly and carelessly while walking and eating, finally reaching his destination. The ice island in front is where the Lingxi ice is stored. As soon as I arrived, there were lovely children waiting to greet me. The king of wine rode on the little white serpent to welcome Wuziu. Using Lingxi a lot makes them both stronger, especially this bear. I get fat when I eat. My belly bulges like a drum. My navel is protruding like a bottle. I've eaten so much. My Lingxi hasn't let me down yet. Let's see. Fortunately, there are still many more left. Wu Ziyu hurriedly rooted into the ice cave, piercing Lingxi's body and wriggling everywhere. Doing it so fiercely made the kids above feel dizzy. Wait until he is rooted deep enough in the ground before it becomes quiet again. After taking root, absorb Lingxi immediately. As soon as I poked the roots in, spirit power gushed out all over the branches. He told the nine-tailed fox to go home and absorb the fire Lingxi he left behind. These two crazy people should quickly go practice, eat their fill, and don't exercise, and they'll gain belly fat. They received orders to leave. Wu Ziyu, left alone, began the cultivation process. A giant willow tree in the northern area constantly absorbs Lingxi and makes its hair stand on end, as if on a remixed song. Absorbing Lingxi so much, who dares to fight him anymore? Wu Ziyu absorbed Lingxi continuously for several days. His entire body was immersed in the ice system, bringing his spirit power level up to 5.5 million. While absorbing Lingxi, Wu Ziyu caught fish to eat. He used his long roots to penetrate the ice surface deep into the sea of ice, catching many mackerel in many spots. Specifically, there are more than 4 million evolution points in hand, minus 500,000 for savings. The rest is all harvested along the way, but most are harvested in the deep sea. In other words, the extremely rich biological resources under the sea have taken root and caught a lot of them, but they still haven't run out. The place where he fishes is in the cold northern area. The sea also freezes. It turns out there are less fish than other places. Yet there were so many. The earth is mostly water, but it is possible that in the depths of the sea there will be something terrible that can threaten him. That is indisputable. Therefore, he cannot help but become stronger. More than 4 million evolution points in hand. Immediately use 300,000 to upgrade the root system. After the second wave of spirit power, the remaining earth was filled with strong people. He cannot stand still. At home, Bull Demon King babysat him. I kept calling today, but no one came back. Alang, Great Serpent, and Great Atrial all went out somewhere, but maybe they didn't have to go out. What the hell are you doing to get blood all over the ground like this? Big second brother looked shocked. The Bull Demon King roared loudly, resounding across the world. Everyone in Reign of the Kingdom heard it. Tiangwood and Leader Feng immediately wanted to rush over to see what happened, but Ancient Empire arrived first. What happened to Bull Demon King? Big second brother turned around, holding something small in his hand. The Ancient Empire also smelled blood. In short, it's more accurate to say that Alang and the Great Serpent have disappeared. Bull Demon King is extremely stressed about this matter. Big second brother is like being traumatized. So he was asked by Wu Ziyu to take care of the house, but the children disappeared without even knowing it. It is a crime of negligence. Ancient Empire saw that it was too stressful and told it to look again. Maybe they just want to go out and play. I told you no one plays like that. Look at the great Idriel in your hand and see the blood covered in it. Obviously attacked. This is absolutely not simple. The Ancient Empire, after seeing Great Atrial devastated in the hands of the Bull Demon King, realized the severity of the problem. The crocodile is also psychologically traumatized. The sun gradually sets into the northern Ravine today, bringing a strangely gloomy mood. All gathered together in one place. They surrounded Great Atrial, who was lying on the stone floor. Papa Leader Feng was the angriest person standing silently, but his mind was in chaos. Bull Demon King frankly accepted his responsibility because he thought Reign of the Kingdom was safe enough. He let the children play everywhere. Leading to this situation, the golden monkey held the baby in his arms. The situation after using the living essence was no longer serious. Even though it's not life-threatening, it keeps losing consciousness. King Qiang and the whole beast family knew how talented the three great serpents, Great Atrial, and Elaine were. Wu Ziyu specifically reminded them to train them. But now 2 of them are missing and 1 is seriously injured. In contrast to King Qiang, Leader Feng did not care how talented they were and only knew that they were his children. Very quickly he directed his anger at Bull Demon King because you said you would take care of the people we just entrusted to you. If you can't find them, if anything happens, even if I risk my life, I will kill you. Knowing that Leader Feng loves them like his own children. But acting like that now is a bit impulsive. King Kong knew, so King Kong had to stop him immediately. Something happening to 3 children is something no one wants. Bull Demon King also considers them as family brothers. They were harmed. Big second brother was also very sad. Is it okay for you to say that? Even though the beautiful woman quickly tried to reconcile, both sides became emotionally burdened by Leader Feng's words. Big second brother also wanted to personally explain. Luckily, the ancient empire was still here, otherwise they would have gotten into a fight and would have punched each other. The crocodile said that now is not the time to pursue responsibility. Those two children are still missing. Prioritize finding the children first. After finding a child barely alive, Wen Wolf quickly set out to search, but the killer was too good at hiding his aura to perfection. Wen Wolf couldn't find it, so the ancient empire will personally take action. This group of kidnappers chose when divine beings were away from home but act and carefully hid aura. It was obvious that he had carefully prepared before coming. No matter what their purpose is, it is absolutely impossible for them to be satisfied. Ancient empire does not accept reign of the kingdom being looked down upon by others. To leave the kidnappers alone today would be to remove the territory's inviolable reputation. Later, people thought Northern U was a place where people could enter and exit at will. Take what you like, and once you compromise, you will be humiliated for the rest of your life. It takes a breath with its nose that is more sensitive than a dog's, picking up a billion different smells. I smelled and sniffed, and finally I smelled what I needed to smell. In the distance, someone was running away. Ancient Empire's eyes lit up. It roared and found humanity. Bull Demon King heard the human voice, and his hair stood on end. Reign of the kingdom is full of strange beasts that hate humans. If I get there, you'll be prepared to die. The three ninjas who rushed out of Reign of the Kingdom were already running very fast, but they still urged each other to run even faster. Their leader is Tadang Tuan. All of them are people from your country who came to Northern U at someone's instigation. The other said that Reign of the Kingdom only has trees that are dangerous. The other ones were there to make a scene, so the three ninjas forcefully rushed in. Why the hell was the murderous aura rising up to the sky behind them? Even when they breathed, they could feel their instincts telling them to run as fast as they could. Before being torn apart, the unreal sublime damn federal dare to lie. If I become a ghost, I will have to haunt 3 generations to be satisfied. Even though unreal sublime guy understated the strength of Reign of the Kingdom, that place was not easy to penetrate. Those ninjas couldn't help but be wary. However, in the ravine, there is something they are willing to exchange their lives for. The great serpent of Wu Ziu's family is most likely the reincarnation of the legendary 8-headed python. Tadang Tuan insisted on bringing the great serpent back to his country. Only with it can England and China be saved. Dang Tuan is extremely serious about this matter. 3 people ran for their lives out of the mountain. As he was running, the ground shook violently and the tremors became stronger and stronger. Clearly having been detected, sneak into Laknat Citadel ahead so the soldiers in the citadel can stop the strange beasts in Northern U. We escaped from another gate. Is it okay for Big Brother to say that? Forcing them to take the blame for us will definitely kill a lot of people. Of course Tadang Tuan knows, but he doesn't care. The group's mission is to bring back the Great Serpent. When the Confederacy dies, the Confederacy buries it. It had nothing to do with them. And Tadang Tuan attributed the number of deaths to the price that Unreal Sublime had to pay for his lies. In short, the 3 ninjas will still storm into Laknat Citadel to make that city take the blame. What is Laknat Citadel? It is one of the 10 largest cities in the Federation, where Unreal Sublime is located. Reaching rank 2, the guard has more than 30,000. All soldiers must be from level 7 soldiers. Overall, very formidable. And the name preparing to blame Laknat Citadel is Tadang Tuan. The British envoy said to the Federation, during a mission in Reign of the Kingdom, a great 3-headed and 3-tailed snake was discovered here. Tadang Tuan immediately thought it was the reincarnation of the 8-headed python. It is very likely that in the future, the 3-headed and 3-tailed snake will grow 5 more heads and 5 tails. That is the hope to save England. So he definitely brought the snake back. It was his snake theft that started the war between the Federation and the Reign of the Kingdom. It was at this time that Northern U's strange beasts began to attack. Strange beasts running everywhere in the sky and on Earth. Leading them was the Bull Demon King. It is currently ready to declare war on humanity. The profound event that led to the current incident was a certain night. Unreal Sublime and Tadang Tuan talked to each other. The other guy said that on the foggy mountain, there was only one tree yukai whose intelligence was scary and the rest of the strange beasts were insignificantly weak. As long as you can catch a strange beast in northern U Mountain and give it to us to study, I can give you the artificial genetic profile you want. Don't worry, just don't touch that tree Yukai. Everything is very safe. This guy lies skillfully without needing to twist his tongue. He is a federal man, but I'm not sure I love the Federation. If I loved, I wouldn't be so foolish. Now the strange beasts in northern U are preparing to invade Laknat Citadel. It's all weak and useless people that come out and fight. Town Laknat detected a strange animal attack and immediately switched orders to enter a defensive state and activate all weapons. Mobilize all armored vehicles. When there is smoke and dust in the distance, they begin to enter a level 1 battle preparation state. Proceed to launch defensive weapons. The southern military region has tanks. The northern military region has artillery vehicles. In the east, in the west, this group of armored vehicles is rumbling in. Put the whole city on red alert level. They set up fireworks on the wall. The soldiers ran loudly into position and immediately set their guns to aim. His quick and professional style is truly not normal. Dominate, they are a high-level unreal sublime. He is slowly walking towards. This guy is the one who instigated the ninja group to go to northern U to steal animals. He stood on the citadel wall, standing in front of the array of soldiers and tanks, guns and bullets. He was the citadel of Laknat Citadel. Never see your face again. His name is Neat Vian, a big guy with a big body. His face is delicate but filled with murderous aura. He is a man with real power. Nai Vian silently cursed Anho's ninja group in his head for being a bunch of trash. He said he was so good at hiding that he brought a whole herd of animals here. But this result seems to have worked. If we hadn't gotten the baby beasts back, they probably wouldn't have come to fight. Everything is sacrificed for science as long as it is worth researching why the strange beasts in northern U are powerful. That is, being willing to sacrifice in exchange for a future for humanity. I don't know how much it can develop in the future, but right now it doesn't feel right. The laser from the gun shines countlessly, passing through Vian's body and into the forest. At first, we only saw a dark patch. Then later we saw pure white nails sticking out. That set of nails kicked hard on the ground, kicking up a ton of rock and soil. That's the foot of the ancient empire. Not only its legs, it also has the wings of a white crane, the tusks of an ice piercing, and the fangs of a tyrant. In addition, the bad trio and dozens of others came together to smash the avatar of this city. All are beasts. But it was only when Neat Vian's leader looked at their leader that his face darkened. His huge black legs stepped on the ground. Spirit Power's massive body was psychologically traumatic to look at. All lasers were directed at a bipedal black buffalo. The buffalo that plows someone's field is 4 or 5 times bigger than Neat Vian, and even holds a weapon, in front of all the soldiers in Laknat Citadel. Bull Demon King shouted loudly, "Hand over our baby, or today we will bathe Laknat in blood." Wild beasts mutate according to human appearance. Looking at it, I knew it was a gangster. It seemed like it wasn't simple for that group of people to capture strange beasts. It's true that Night Vian had a hand in this case, but he wasn't stupid enough to admit guilt. Clearly replied that he did not understand what Bull Demon King was saying. The Bull Demon King roared. Big Second Brother no longer had the patience to swing an axe straight at Night Vian's face. The blow took less than a blink of an eye. Fortunately, Night Vian didn't blink, so he quickly caught it, otherwise his skull would have been crushed. But it's not fun to deal with it. One blow is enough to cure a lot of anger. Night Vian reluctantly gritted his teeth and stopped. Even pushed back away. He was breathing heavily in the dust and smoke. The soldiers above saw the city lord being beaten back and were extremely confused. After all, he was ranked second, but the strange beast couldn't even beat him in time. After blocking the attack earlier, his arm had suffered quite a bit of damage. Just an exchange, and that's it. This situation is not good. Night Vian is smart enough to know that he is not an opponent of the strange beasts, and this Laknat city is even less of an opponent. Absolutely cannot fight. Before the Bull Demon King's attack, Night Vian requested negotiations. They both have a brain. Why don't they resolve it completely? Bull Demon King did not want to waste another drop of saliva. Release a Lang and the Great Snake and we will withdraw our troops. Before starting a fight, you still want to negotiate. Those ninjas actually captured 2 strange beasts, making the buffalo go crazy like this. He also said that if he didn't hand it back himself, he would turn the whole city over to look for it. If you want to flip, do you flip? Don't forget that in the past, Northern U and the Federation had a truce. As soon as Nate Vian finished speaking, bullets flew out from someone's muzzle from somewhere. Bullets flew through the Bull Demon King's hair and shot backwards, hitting the shoulder of a winged wolf in the herd. It hurts my whole soul. Winged wolf is not an ordinary wolf. The bullet that penetrated its body could only be a bullet specially made for strange beasts. Bullets specifically used to shoot at rank 1 strange beasts fall from rank 1. It is impossible to avoid that level 9 strange beast bullets also pierce the skin. Those bullets were fired by ninjas using guns to aim from afar. The purpose is to add fuel to the fire. This is the outcome when you dare to play tricks on me. The bad guy is still alive and hasn't been harmed in any way. Besides, revenge is also revenge against Neep Vian. Why drag the entire Laknat city into this? Thanks to that shot, Wine Wolf died and lay on the ground. The whole Willow Tree Demon family was also tense. Neep Vian is also stressed. Trying to make peace all this time is finally going down the drain. He immediately turned around and shouted, "Who told you to shoot?" "We didn't shoot, boss." "Damn it, no matter who shot another new strange beast is dead." After this shot, it was all just legitimate self-defense. "Declare war," the Bull Demon King roared, officially launching his attack. Laknat City is due today and their 3 disasters are leisurely fleeing. No need to bring the animal back to exchange for genetic modification. The plan changed to bring both children back home, so why not do it again and create bad karma? The Black Armored Army is Laknat's strongest weapon. All the Black Armored soldiers are unreal sublime. All above level 8, was the fastest formed army during the second recovery, known as the strongest new generation. Currently, they are fighting in Laknat. After the Bull Demon King's attack, the soldiers quickly opened fire. Machine guns people shoot down like crazy. In the last attack on Northern U, the entire human race died and there was no one left. They had long held a grudge. Today, fighting is also a way to release hatred and avenge your brothers. A storm of bright bullets shot into the dark night. In the dark night, there is a herd of strange beasts burning with hatred. Bull Demon King is the commander of strange beasts. Big second brother shouted one by one, calling the name Vindu. The vultures in the sky immediately flapped their wings and shot down many fireballs. That move is called Leave Fire You. Burn your feathers and then throw them down with the force of your flapping wings. Throw them at the city wall and throw them at the soldiers. If there was a feather, that feather would fight a burning dust bag, causing people to scream miserably. Bull Demon King roared a second time, calling Ade. Ade led the group of falcons and soared from behind. The task of smashing the wall straight forward. 8 of them simultaneously crashed into the city wall. The city wall is cracked and filled with smoke and dust. I can't stand it anymore. Hit it again, and it will collapse immediately. Because if the wall collapsed, the city would be captured. So the unreal sublimes in the city tried their best to stop the falcon flock. They held light swords and rushed up shouting, "Die, stupid bird!" But stupid birds don't die, they die. Actually, he was just about to slash down, but before he could touch any more feathers, he was stopped by a blinding blue light. That light came from the white tiger's wings. The stupid tiger slapped him once, then hit the other person and crashed into the wall. The wall was a bit hard, so after the person flew into it, he immediately died, unable to close his mouth. Even lost a few teeth slash. The soldiers continued to fire as many bullets as they could, reluctantly holding back the animals below. But the bullets fired by the soldiers are not the most dangerous. Those double-barrel iron lumps are dangerous. The shooting just now made my eyes itchy, so the tyrant stumped his feet and climbed straight up the wall to deal with it. 5 steps to get there. When I got there, I crushed that double-barrel iron lump. Next, it looked at the soldiers with its bright eyes. The smoke and dust and the backlit effect make it even more scary without the need for those backgrounds. Just seeing the whole dinosaur makes me scared to pee my pants. Tyrants eat people right on the city walls. They screamed and ran away. No one could stop its beak. Big ate brother on becoming productive. You guys below can't be lazy. The wild boar uses the power of a fierce beast to attack you all at the same time. It's all unreal sublime. On this side, there is a green electric current passing by. This color belongs to Honey Badger, not anyone else. It used its lightning-fast body to rush around recklessly, killing a bunch of people. Humans don't leave it alone and let it attack. An unreal sublime with a white head and blue sword quickly rushed forward, swinging his sword and slashing down. In front of the honey badger is this man. Behind him, there is another man with a black head and purple sword who is also slashing. The honey badger in the air couldn't avoid it, so it shrank back. Do you think Big Brother Honey Badger is shrinking back and resisting? No. The honey badger contracts to discharge electricity. The thunder is super huge. Killed 2 people at the same time. The 2 brothers were both shown. It's time for the golden monkey to take action. It carries a stick and knocks at the same time as 4 people. The person who gets hit spins around. Died of dizziness. Wayne Wolf lost his own kind and also went crazy biting. Whichever piece you bite, the quality is greater. Don't think that you're a company delivery person and don't know how to play. The whole team of construction loaders are like red ants and they are still fighting well. How can the Wayne Wolf not be able to fight? If you fight back and forth for a while, people will fall into a position of weakness. The bullets were still roaring, but the strange beasts continued to advance. Humanity found that regular bullets were not good, so they decided to take out heavy weapons. Who would have thought that before he could use it, the vulture burned it to the ground? It still has feathers, so it can still attack with its feathers and cause a big fire. Whenever humans carry something out, they burn it to avoid being shot. Neep Vian finally realized his decision was a big mistake. Laknat's black armored army, in front of these strange beasts, collapsed immediately after the first blow. The black armored army is a strong man who can fight single-handedly with beasts of the same level without falling behind. But why does it look like a doll that was destroyed by these strange beasts? There's no need to be surprised like that. It's normal. It will be your turn to feel the pain soon. Bull Demon King stomped down hard and stood in front of Neep Vian. Now Big Second Brother is in the mood to speak. Do you think we are normal monsters? Neep Vian panicked and repeatedly cursed that he was hateful, and then rushed up to attack. He swung his sword. Bull Demon King blocked it with his bare hands. Neep Vian has nothing more to say. Big Second Brother held the sword tightly in his hand and blood poured out quite a bit. Looking at it, we were bleeding too. We also know happiness, sadness, and anger. We are no different from humans. Bull Demon King's meaning is that strange beasts also know pain and have full emotions of joy, anger, love, and sadness like humans. So their lives are also their lives. It's not just human lives that count, that's clear. But Neep Vian didn't hear a word. He glared with eyes filled with only anger and contempt. The mentality of superiority has been ingrained in the blood of animals, and they will always be animals. Humans are the rulers of the earth. Humanity is so greedy. The fighting on the outskirts of the city was very fierce, and all the manpower was concentrated there. So the inner city was deserted without a single person. So King Qiang and Tiangwen King Kong broke in. They came here to look for the children. The way to find it is to rely on the 2 antennas on Tiangwen's head to catch spirit power like catching Wi-Fi signals. Thanks to that, it was possible to find and actually find a stray armored vehicle among the pile of vehicles that participated in the battle. It's rolling and hastily leaving here. It is in the southwest. After Tiangwen announced his position, he immediately set off, hoping to catch up and then withdraw his troops. They came here with anger but did not fight arbitrarily. They fight in an organized, planned, and carefully grouped manner. They didn't want the massacre. They just wanted to get the children back in the house. Tonight, Laknat City is facing disaster, so every house turns off its lights. The whole city was silent. Only outside the city walls was still noisy. Continuous fighting, smoke, and dust rising higher than the wall. Those who don't know will think a storm is coming. Unfortunately, Lacton is near the forest and not near the desert. That super huge sand and dust was the beginning of the wall's collapse. It's true that I just built it for peace of mind. After just one night of beating, whole pieces fell off. Strange beasts also swarmed in from there. There was no one in the city at this time. Only Tadang Tuan was alone in a car speeding away. The sound of the wall collapsing was very loud. He ran 200 meters and could still hear it. Even if he doesn't participate in combat, he still has to sweat. Driving with my heart pounding like I saw my lover. I just hope that Laknat Citadel will resist for a few more minutes so that he can quickly overtake me in time. While driving, some crazy guy bared his teeth and asked about his health. Where are you guys going so late at night? It's too dark to see who it is. I asked for some fire to see clearly, but I didn't expect the other person to burn it a little too much. The light was really bright, but there was a lot of dust, and at the end, I still couldn't see anything. It may be that the Kinkiane group has arrived, but the Kinkiane mind is not that thin. His lips must be both thick and dark. So, who is that person? Wait until the dust and smoke clears to know. This look, this hairstyle, and this outfit prove that he is an unreal sublime. It seems like Lacknat City is too busy fighting strange beasts, so he is the only one here, or he is very strong and dares to chase after this group of British people alone. Just one move knocked their armored vehicle to the ground. All the ninjas had to jump out. Ta Dang Tuan cursed the Federation's unreal sublime in the face, saying that the Federation wanted to kill them from the beginning and lied and did not intend to give them genetic modification drugs. That's why the British decided to take away the adaptation of the eight-headed great snake. Sounds reasonable. You lied to me, so I'll let your whole family pay the price. But since the beginning, the federal government had no intention of giving genetic medicine, so don't dream of taking that snake home anymore. If you want to take it away, you have to see if you have that bravery. Looks like he's ready to fight those three ninjas. Unfortunately, in the card there were not only those three children, but also 1, 2, 3, or 4 other children and an old man. He was the oldest but the most fierce and also the strongest among those ninjas. Currently, I want to try a match with Unreal Sublime of the other Federation. He didn't say anything about the ninja group. This old man named Lu Xing had secretly entered the city without knowing it. It's not just the feds lying. The British are no less so, so they sent an elder here. Didn't they want to take away genetically modified medicine? There is no trust in each other at all. What did the Federation do to make Elder Lu Xing say you guys are not worthy of their trust? Let's review foreign policy. The British tell the truth and you are not worthy of our trust. Luckily, I didn't come alone and bringing a few more people with me was a wise choice. The other side said so frankly, it is necessary to completely destroy the grass. There is no more close friendship. Kill me. Lu Xing finished the sentence and the ninja rushed forward. There was a loud bang, but no sound came from their attack. The sound coming from the city wall cracked another giant piece. Just turned around to catch a glimpse of the next surprise that quickly came. From under the road surface, where the armored vehicles were parked, the cut soil rose up in clouds of dust. If it weren't for the dark gray smoke, I would have thought Wu Ziyu had come here. From within that cloud of smoke, a huge body appeared, without needing to look at its lips to know that it was King Qiang. The construction team captain appeared with a majestic background. Lu Xing, now over 60 years old, has never encountered a case like this. Should have been punched several times for throwing dust in the elderly person's face. But he was too busy being surprised to punch. Not only that young man, but Lu Xing was startled because the image before his eyes was too scary. It was a ghost girl looming in the smoke. There was no time for his ninjas to react. That witch's vines pierced several people. Suddenly losing their teammates, the remaining Unreal Sublime Federation fell into panic. They were so busy watching King Kong that they didn't know that death was coming to them. At some point, Tianguan's green eyes appeared behind the group of supernatural people. No need to make any announcements. Directly cut off people's heads. The ant crawled into the middle of the crowd, then cut people. The leader of the group is killed first when faced Unreal Sublime and just smirked. Where else are you running? Ta Dang Tuan was blocked and could only grit his teeth and curse. Son of a bitch. I'm just going to die. Turned back towards Lacknat Citadel. It seems the ancient empire is working very productively. It roared loudly to sound like the main character. Then it crashed head first into the city wall, wanting to breach it. The citadel not only had holes but also collapsed completely. Behind the collapsed wall is not a vast space, but sharp teeth that make humans tremble when they see it. However, they did not give up hope and still shouted at each other to shoot. The broken city wall made it easy to carry the takeout. Bullets, guns, and vehicle bullets were loudly launched. Large and small missiles, all of which were aimed at the ancient empire's head. While human firepower is not just for scratching. Ancient Empire has more experience in this matter than anyone else. If a bullet hits the eye, the crocodile will become a blind crocodile. But it's not easy to touch Wu Ziyu's the big fourth brother. Before the bullets arrived, they were all burned up. The fire came from the mouth of the big eight brother, not the ancient empire. The ancient empire didn't have a new skill. Please look closely. The tyrant is clinging to the ancient empire's left leg and spitting fire. The eighth big brother is a bit small, please understand, just tiny. So anyone who gets a tiny lump of phlegm from its throat will be burned to the bone. In particular, after the big eight brother coughs up the first round, there will be a second round. Everyone has their share. Don't jostle or push each other. In another location, also outside the city wall, Neep Vian was just knocked back a meter, which was not surprising because his opponent was the second big brother bull demon king. But this baby is the gentlest in the family. May the nine-tailed fox is busy absorbing the Lingxi fire. If it were here, this city would still burn for 3 days and 3 nights. Tonight there's only Bull Demon King and the other kids. However, the second big brother is no less. Exchanging a few moves made Neep Vian feel breathless. This strange humanoid beast has great power, but Neep Vian cannot afford to lose this battle and is determined to, of course, try his best. Neep Vian puts spirit power into the sword. A powerful source of bright red spirit power spilled out, covering his sword hand. After gathering force, slash at once with full force. The sword attack is called Great Wind Fury Strike. The red color shoots out as fast as lightning. Unfortunately, it cannot complete the task of cutting down the Bull Demon King. I've been using an axe, so you think I don't know how to use magic. With your sword attack, I use gravity and lightly press it on the ground, and it's easier than eating a cake. Poor Neep Vian's full strength attack was blocked so easily. Made him stand still, his face turned pale. Finished fighting, right? After Neep Vian finished fighting, it was the second big brother Bull Demon King's turn to lift his battle axe. Its eyes glowed with anger. Even if things come to this point, it's too late to regret it. Along with the Bull Demon King's crazy eyes, the Warlord Lava skill hit Neep Vian. Even if he wanted to dodge, he wouldn't have time. Alone was beaten by a move of the Bull Demon King. Just thinking about it, I'm honored. After hitting Neep Vian, Bull Demon King did not stop there, but continued to hit Neep Vian to the ground, causing smoke and dust to fly several meters high. The smoke and dust that accompanied the Bull Demon King's breath exhaled from its mouth gradually reduced its anger. Neep Vian under his feet was dead with his body stuck to the ground. His mouth was open and his eyes were white, and he died more peacefully than I thought. I thought that blow would split his body in half. The end of the person who caused that trouble. Everyone, please don't learn from Neep Vian. After Bull Demon King beat Neep Vian to death, the battle also seemed to have come to an end. The dust stopped flying and the soldiers in the city stopped hoping. The city lord they were always proud of, the second-ranked supernatural, was beaten to death. In a battle that should have been evenly matched, the soldier lying in the rubble looked at the citadel without holding back his tears. It's obvious that they have gotten a lot stronger. Why can't they still win? It's so funny to say. People know how to practice to get stronger, so the strange beast doesn't know. The whole company also absorbed Lingxi a lot, and tonight it was all seniors visiting Laknat City. 7 of Wu Ziyu's 9 great beasts are here. Who can resist them? But if you all leave like this, who will take care of the company? You guys. Leaving home and not returning at night is very bad. Bull Demon King and his accomplices have finished fighting, but Tiangwen still hasn't brought back the baby. Let me run over there and see what it's like. Oh my god. Blood splashed. Ta Dang Tuan's entire arm was gone. However, it's okay to still live and run very well. It seems that even having some bravery to escape from Tiangwen is very formidable. As he flew, Ta Dang Tuan cursed that these strange beasts were truly unimaginably strong. Just now, luckily, thanks to the secret method of concealing my aura, I was able to escape burying my body in a strange land. No matter what, we must bring the 8-headed snake back to England. I don't know how to apologize. But now that I realize my mistake, I won't be forgiven anymore. Tiangwen chased him from the air and came right up to his ass. Ta Dang Tuan realized he was being chased, showed obvious fear. Did he remember that he hid himself so well and still got discovered that this ant was a leech? I thought I was really dead this time. Unexpectedly, the yellow ant seemed to have discovered something and suddenly stopped. After that, he stopped completely and did not chase anymore.